Why evolution gave the giraffe a 1-5-foot wiring mistake. Right now, a signal is leaving your brain headed for your voice box. The two sit barely a handspan apart. The trip should take an inch. Instead, it runs down the entire length of your neck, dives into your chest, loops underneath a vessel beside your heart, and then climbs all the way back up to where it started. 15 feet of detour to deliver a message you could cover with a fingertip. Nothing scared this signal. Nothing went wrong today. This is simply how every giraffe is wired. And it has been this way for far longer than giraffes have existed. Here's the part nobody tells you. The thing that defines your strange, towering life is not the lions waiting in the grass, not the drought, not the 6-foot fall that begins everything. It's a mistake. A single piece of faulty wiring threaded through your body before your ancestors ever had a neck, before they ever left the water. Keep watching, because by the end you'll understand why evolution could never fix it, and why you will carry it, completely blameless, until the day you die. Back up to the very beginning. You are not born gently. Your mother gives birth standing up, which means your first experience of the world is a 6-foot drop onto hard ground. You already weigh around 150 pounds. You are already 6 feet tall, and you land in a heap of your own legs while vultures circle overhead, waiting to see whether you'll get up at all. The fall isn't cruelty. The impact snaps the cord, breaks the sac, and shocks your lungs into their first breath. Welcome. You have roughly 1 hour. In that hour, you must stand on legs you have never used, because on this savanna, a calf that cannot run is a calf that does not live. More than half of you won't. In some places, 3 out of every 4 calves are gone before their first birthday. So you try. You unfold legs longer than a grown man is tall, and you collapse. You try again. Within an hour, you're swaying upright. Within 3 or 4, you can run 25 miles an hour on legs that are still wet from birth. Nobody taught you that. It was already written inside you before you ever hit the ground. Then your mother does something that feels like abandonment. She leaves you. She tucks you into the tall grass and walks off to feed, because a standing adult is a beacon and a hidden calf is a secret. So you lie there, alone, flat and still, for most of the day. Most of you don't survive this stage. The grass is full of patient eyes, hyenas, leopards, wild dogs, and a calf is a meal that still can't run far. You learn the first rule of your life early. Stillness is survival. And you are always being watched. There's another problem your height creates, and it arrives every single time you get thirsty. Your head sits 2 meters above your heart. To reach water, you have to splay those enormous legs and drag your skull all the way down to the ground, and in that moment, the blood that was being shoved uphill suddenly rushes the wrong way. In any other animal, dropping your head like this would knock you out cold. You'd faint with your face in the water while everything in the grass watched. You don't, because tucked at the base of your brain is a net of vessels that catches the surge and bleeds off the pressure, like a valve opening just in time. It is the only reason drinking doesn't kill you. It is also the reason drinking is the most dangerous thing you do. Legs spread, head down, blind to the world. The lions know this. They wait at the water, skip forward. You survived the gauntlet. Now look at what you've become. You stand 18 feet tall, the tallest creature that has ever walked the earth, and you can spot a predator coming from a mile away. Your tongue is purple, prehensile, nearly 20 inches long, dark enough to keep from burning in the sun while you strip leaves from thorns that would shred any other mouth. You spend up to 18 hours a day eating, gathering 75 pounds of acacia leaves through inch-long spikes, your tongue wrapping each branch and pulling it clean. You barely chew before it's down, then you bring it back up later and chew it again, standing, scanning the horizon the entire time. You eat, looking up. You eat while being watched. And to push blood up that impossible neck, you grew a heart the size of a basketball, 11 kilograms of solid muscle, generating blood pressure of 280 over 180, roughly double a human's, the highest of any land animal alive. Your neck holds exactly 7 bones, the same number as the one holding up a human head. Yours are simply each as long as a child's arm. And if you're male, that neck becomes a weapon. To win the right to mate, you fight not with teeth, not with hooves, but by swinging your skull like a wrecking ball, driving the bony knobs on your head into a rival's flank with blows you can hear across the plain. Some land hard enough to drop a fully grown giraffe unconscious. A few have killed. A single one of your kicks can cave in a lion's skull. You are not prey that hopes to escape. You are a tower that can kill what hunts it. Everything about you works. Every system, tuned across millions of years to make you the most improbable success on the plains. And none of it can touch the one thing that was wrong with you from the very start. You are also rarer than almost anyone realizes. Your closest living relative isn't another tall animal at all. It's the okapi, a shy forest creature with a neck no longer than a horse's. There are fewer than 120,000 of you left across all of Africa, fewer than there are elephants. Your numbers thinning so quietly that scientists have called it a silent extinction. You have existed in some form for millions of years, outlasting creatures far fiercer than you. And still, the strangest thing about you isn't your height, or your heart, or how few of you remain. It's the wiring. Go back to that signal in your throat, the one that travels 15 feet to go nowhere. Here is why. Hundreds of millions of years ago, your ancestor was a fish. And in a fish, that nerve ran a sensible straight path, slipping neatly behind one of the arches of blood vessels near the gills. Tidy, efficient, a couple of inches. But evolution does not draw new blueprints. It can only edit the one it already has. As your lineage crawled out of the water, grew a neck, then stretched that neck higher and higher toward the treetops, the heart and its great vessels stayed down in the chest, and the nerve, hooked behind one of those vessels, was simply dragged along for the ride. It could never unhook, it could never take the shortcut. Every generation the neck grew longer, and so did the detour, until it reached you, a 15-foot loop of nerve to carry a message a few inches. Not a design, a leftover, a 400-million-year-old shortcut that nobody ever cleaned up, running through the throat of the tallest animal on Earth. For years, that wiring never matters, because the rest of you is built to win. You feel it the first time the grass moves wrong. A lioness breaks cover behind you, and your body answers before your mind does. You wheel around, plant your front legs, and drive a hind hoof backward with the force of a swung sledgehammer. It connects. The shape behind you folds and does not get up. You stand there, heart hammering at 280 over 180, and you walk away untouched. You will win this fight again and again across your life. That is the cruel trick of it. You are almost never beaten by what hunts you. You are beaten by the one moment your weapon can't be used. And the wiring is only the start of what your size costs you. The same height that lets you see for miles means you sleep barely 30 minutes a day, often standing, because folding all of this down to the ground takes time you may not have. When the drought comes, the tall trees you depend on dry out first. And the day finally arrives, as it does for nearly all of you at the water's edge. You are old now, or you are sick, or you are simply slow. You splay your legs, you lower your head, the blood rushes down, the valve at your brain does its work one last time, and for that single blind second, you do not see the lioness, who has been waiting in the reeds since dawn. The kick that could shatter a skull needs a stance to throw it. Splayed, head down, you don't have one, you cannot bring it. It ends the way the savanna ends, most things quickly and without ceremony. And here is the part that should stay with you. You were never broken on purpose. Nobody designed you with a flaw. You were only ever edited a fish rewritten into a tower, one small change at a time, with every old mistake left tangled inside, because evolution had no eraser, only a pen. You spent your entire life carrying 15 feet of wiring that proves you were never built to a plan, and you never once knew it was there. You just lived. You reached for the high leaves nothing else could reach, ran when you were still wet, and bent to drink, knowing exactly what it might cost. You did precisely what you were made to do by accident, across 400 million years, and you had no idea how strange and magnificent that made you. And somewhere on the same plane, in the same hour your eyes go still, a mother stands. Something slides from her, and falls 6 feet to the earth, lands in a tangle of impossible legs, and lifts its head while the vultures turn their slow circles above. Inside its throat, a signal is already leaving its brain, already diving down toward its heart, already beginning the long, pointless, 15-foot climb back up. The wheel turns. It never stops. Life as a giraffe is a strange bargain, towering and brief, but believe me, it's far from the worst hand evolution has ever dealt. There's another creature out there wearing a mistake even crueler than yours, and it doesn't even get the dignity of standing up. That's the one you'll want to see next.